This is the video dealers don't want trending because it exposes 11 used R-Vees under $5,000 that still outlast modern rigs. While they're pushing new models with touchscreen gimmicks, these forgotten machines are quietly surviving decades on real roads. They can't risk you finding out, but I'm showing you anyway. By the end, you'll know exactly what they've been hiding. Let's get into it. 2003 Fleetwood Bounder 35R. You can spot it from half a block away. The long, squared roofline, the beige and gold striping, and that unmistakable Fleetwood badge that once meant forever. The 2003 Bounder 35R wasn't built to impress with gadgets. It was built to last through heat, rain, and long American miles. Underneath, it runs the Ford Triton V10. That's a 6.8-liter engine, still known in service bays for crossing 100,000 miles before most mechanics ever see it open. The coach sits on a true steel frame, not lightweight tubing. The result is durability that dealers quietly hate because it never forces a trade-in. It lists under $5,000 because of floor plan pressure. Dealers financed newer stock when rates were low. Now doubled costs make old trades a liability after 90 days. The Bounder's too old for loans, too reliable for parts profit, and too honest to move units. Inside, you still get dual slide-outs, real wood cabinetry, and that signature mid-bath layout that never went out of style. It is heavy, about 19,000 pounds, but steady. Replace a few soft seals, swap the tires, and this coach will keep rolling when newer fiberglass rigs are peeling apart. If you find one around that 5,000 mark, you're looking at a genuine survivor of the pre-corporate era of motorhomes. Dealers won't tell you that, but their silence is your signal. Because if the Bounder proves reliability is the dealer's worst enemy, the next rig shows what happens when over-engineering turns into financial deadweight. 1998 Holiday Rambler Endeavor Diesel. Some rigs were built for weekend trips. This one was built for the long haul, the kind of machine that could outlive its own dealer network. The 1998 Holiday Rambler Endeavor Diesel was the last of an era when engineers ran the show, not accountants. It rolled off the line with a solid Freightliner foundation, air ride suspension, and the legendary Cummins 8.3-liter turbo diesel, a motor still found in commercial trucks today. That engine can hum for 200,000 miles with little more than oil, filters, and respect. Dealers never admit it, but they can't profit from the Endeavor. It's too reliable for service upsells and too old for high-interest loans. Valued near $4,500, its structure rivals rigs 10 times higher. A dusty unit behind a bay isn't neglect. It's opportunity disguised. The interiors hold real oak, not laminate. The walls are aluminum, not fiberglass. Even the plumbing fittings are metal. Everything about it was overbuilt, and that's why dealers quietly unload them through local auctions, where bids start at $4,000 and rarely climb. If reliability were a crime, the Endeavor Diesel would be guilty on all counts. Too good to fail, too cheap to ignore. But while the Endeavor proves old diesel can outlast the market, the next pick shows how compact design is becoming the hidden doorway back into affordable travel. If you've ever found a dealer hiding a real bargain, drop a comment below. Hit that like button so more buyers see what's really happening behind those locked gates. 2002 Volkswagen Eurovan Winnebago camper. You would never guess it from its quiet profile, but the 2002 Volkswagen Eurovan Winnebago camper is the stealth bargain of the entire used camper market. It looks small, polite, even harmless, yet it carries the same soul that powered a generation of long-distance travelers. Under that short hood sits the VR6 engine, a 2.8-liter workhorse that delivers enough torque to climb real grades without screaming for mercy. Most of these vans cross the Atlantic built for European practicality. Strong frames, simple wiring, and parts that can still be ordered at ordinary prices. Dealers overlook Eurovans because they defy categories. Too new for classics, too old for financing, too reliable for profit. They sit discounted around $4,000 to $4,500. Inside, the Winnebago conversion stays practical. Pop-top bed, dual-burner stove, fold-flat seats, and a compact, dependable refrigerator. Fuel economy hovers near 20 miles per gallon. Not bad for a 20-plus-year-old rig that can sleep 4 adults. Maintenance? Basic hand tools handle most of it. The real trick is timing. Find one before the van life trend swings back because prices are already inching upward on the coasts. The Eurovan does not shout for attention. It just keeps earning it quietly, mile after mile. And if the Eurovan proves that small and steady can still win, the next chapter shows what happens when an ugly paint job hides a rental rig built to outlast nearly everything on the road. 2006, Thor Majestic 23A. Every dealership has one parked behind the service bay. White fiberglass, peeling decals, and a faint outline where the rental logo used to be. That is the 2006 Thor Majestic 23A, the unsung soldier of the rental fleets. Most of these came from Cruise America, where they ran 1,000 trips before landing in auction lines. But here is the twist. Those miles built reliability, not ruin. Riding on the Ford E350 chassis, the 6.8-liter Triton V10 delivers 265 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. Heavy-duty transmissions, strict maintenance, and meticulous service records make these ex-rental rigs remarkably dependable workhorses. Dealers ignore these because the paint is dull and the interiors look plain. They cannot finance them as luxury coaches, so they list them cheap, $4,000 to $4,500. Just to move them off the books. Buyers who see past the surface end up with a dependable rig that starts every time and leaks less than units triple the price. Inside, the layout is simple. Fixed bed, convertible dinette, kitchen midship, and a bathroom that works. Nothing fancy, just functional. The Majestic 23A proves that a rental past can mean a trustworthy future. And while the Majestic earns respect through endurance, the next one shows how faded paint and forgotten branding can hide one of the most dependable bargains still rolling today. 1999 Winnebago Mini Winnie 29B. Some names just never die, and the Winnebago Mini Winnie is one of them. The 1999 29B isn't glamorous, but it represents the moment when Winnebago's engineering still outweighed its marketing. You see it on small-town lots every year. The beige and white coach with rounded corners, sitting clean, waiting for someone who understands what it really is. A dependable Class C that refuses to quit. Beneath its fiberglass shell, the Ford E450 chassis, with a 7.3-liter V8, was built for endurance, not show. Many exceed 100,000 miles with minimal upkeep, selling near $5,000 where sharp-eyed buyers find value. Inside, it's pure 90s logic. Straightforward layout, overhead cab bed, large dinette, and a rear corner bedroom. Real oak trim, solid hinges, and wiring that doesn't depend on touchscreen gimmicks. Nothing in this coach is delicate, and that is exactly why they last. These rigs deliver what the modern models forgot: simplicity that works. When the slide mechanisms on new units fail, the Mini Winnie just keeps opening its manual awning and hitting the road. The 1999 Winnebago Mini Winnie 29B isn't pretty, it's permanent. And if the Mini Winnie proves simplicity can outlive style, the next machine on this list turns durability into a dealer's worst nightmare, because it can actually make you money when others fall apart. 2005, Gulfstream Conquest 6316. Every once in a while, a motorhome appears that tells the truth the moment you open its door. The 2005 Gulfstream Conquest 6316 is that kind of rig. Not perfect, not flashy, but brutally honest. You can smell its purpose. This is the blue-collar Class C that outworked its price tag. Built on the Ford E450 chassis, the Gulfstream's 6.8-liter Triton V10 delivers 260 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Solid framing, steel outriggers, and dense insulation give it strength most rivals never matched. So why do dealers hate stocking it? Because it sells too cheap to finance and too slow to impress walk-in shoppers. Most Conquest units from this era trade hands between $4,500 and $5,000. Dealers often flip them at auction after sitting 90 days just to free up floor plan credit. What they miss is that the Conquest 6316 rarely fails inspection. It just keeps passing. Inside, the build feels tight. Hardwood cabinet doors, thick cushions, and a slide-out that still seals correctly after nearly 2 decades. Maintenance is straightforward. Parts are common, and every system is serviceable without digital tools. This motorhome may not sparkle, but it survives. And survival, in this market, is the highest form of luxury. But if the Conquest 6316 proves durability can still be affordable, the next pick proves that smaller, lighter, and smarter might just be the future of value on the open road. 2004 Scamp 13-foot fiberglass camper. At first glance, the 2004 Scamp 13-foot fiberglass camper looks too small to matter, a toy beside the hulking fifth wheels lined up on dealer lots. But step closer, tap that one-piece shell, and you'll hear why owners never sell them. That hollow sound isn't weakness, it's strength. This little trailer is molded from a single fiberglass form. No seams, no leaks, no delamination. Built in Bacchus, Minnesota, the 1,300-pound Scamp tows easily behind small vehicles. Inside, a fold-down dinette, compact galley with sink and stove, and efficient storage creates simple, complete functionality. Nothing wasted, nothing missing, just smart, durable design built to last. Here's why dealers ignore them. No financing margin, no high-end add-ons, no profit layers. They sell for $4,000 to $4,500, often privately, because Scamp owners trade directly with each other. Meanwhile, dealers push heavier, flashier campers that need service plans and constant repair. The Scamp's fiberglass shell can last 40 years with care. A new seal here, a set of tires there, and it just keeps rolling. You can tow it to the mountains, park it in your driveway, and forget about it until next weekend. It's that simple. In a world addicted to excess, the Scamp proves smaller can still mean smarter. And while this tiny survivor earns respect through simplicity, the next rig shows what happens when old-school aluminum meets endurance engineering, turning nostalgia into the smartest buy left on the market. If this countdown helped you spot value others miss, tap subscribe. We uncover what dealers don't want public: proof, prices, and timing, so you never overpay for your next rig again. 1994 Airstream Land Yacht 30. You can tell when something was built to outlive the marketing cycle. The 1994 Airstream Land Yacht 30 was never meant to be trendy. It was meant to be trusted. The moment sunlight hits that aluminum skin, you see why Airstream earned its legend. This coach doesn't age. It patinas. Every rivet tells a story of road miles and honest engineering. Powered by the Chevrolet 454 cubic inch V8, the Land Yacht delivers simple, lasting torque, about 300 horsepower without complex electronics. Its aircraft-grade aluminum shell over steel resists flex, leaks, and excess weight. Outlasting fiberglass coaches built a decade later, dealers rarely feature them up front because they cannot polish the nostalgia into profit. They list between $4,000 and $4,500, often sitting unnoticed while newer fiberglass giants depreciate by that much in a single season. Step inside, and you'll find real oak trim, brass hardware, and leather that can be revived with conditioner instead of replacement. Airstream called it the Land Yacht for a reason: steady, silent, and endlessly repairable. Every window opens, every panel can be replaced. It is functional art, not decoration. When the market forgets craftsmanship, the Land Yacht quietly reminds it what quality used to mean. And if this timeless icon proves aluminum never quits, the next coach on the list shows what happens when overbuilt diesel power met luxury ambition and somehow fell right through the cracks. 2001 Tiffin Allegro Bay 35 DA. You can tell when a coach was designed by people who actually used them. The 2001 Tiffin Allegro Bay 35 DA is proof that practical luxury once meant something. It was born in Red Bay, Alabama, when Bob Tiffin still inspected builds by hand. This model stands as a survivor from the early era of real craftsmanship, when the goal was quiet miles, not touchscreen dashboards. Under its fiberglass shell, the Allegro Bay runs a 6.8-liter Ford V10 with a 5-speed automatic. Durable, serviceable anywhere. Its strength isn't horsepower, but craftsmanship. Solid cabinets, precise seams, aligned bays. Proof it was built before production shortcuts ruled. Most dealers bypass them because they cannot roll new financing on a rig this age. Yet at $4,000 to $4,500, it delivers what modern coaches forget: dependability over decoration. The roof seals can be maintained with one afternoon's work. And the fiberglass walls do not delaminate the way lighter builds now do. Step inside and you feel it instantly. The balance, the quiet, the sense that this was meant to last decades. Dealers may call it dated. Owners call it paid-for peace of mind. And if the Allegro Bay represents honest luxury from a builder who still cared, the next entry strips it all down. A stealth van that proves simplicity is sometimes the smartest investment left. 2003 Chevrolet Astro van conversion. Not every road warrior needs a giant coach to feel free. The 2003 Chevrolet Astro van conversion proves that practicality can still be powerful. Born from America's favorite workhorse platform, the Astro was never designed to impress campgrounds. It was designed to outlast them. Under the hood sits the 4.3-liter V6 engine, one of General Motors' most proven power plants, known to pass 200,000 miles with little more than oil, filters, and steady maintenance. The Astro became a do-it-yourself favorite. Strong frame, rear-wheel drive, city-friendly, yet trail-tough. Dealers overlook it. Too new for vintage, too old for showrooms. At $400 to $4,500, it's a hidden value for buyers who recognize lasting utility. Inside, conversions vary. Some fitted with fold-down couches, others with custom cabinets and 12-volt refrigerators. The real advantage is stealth. You can park overnight almost anywhere without drawing attention, and repairs cost a fraction of what motorhome systems demand. Insurance, half the price. Fuel economy, around 17 miles per gallon, which matters when gas climbs past $4 a gallon again. This isn't just a van. It's independence disguised as transportation. Quiet, durable, and easy to fix in any town that still has a mechanic's sign out front. Dealers overlook it. Savvy buyers don't. Because if the Astro conversion is the stealth survivor of the used market, the next rig is its polar opposite. Loud, proud, and once meant to be the crown jewel of American touring before the math caught up. 2005 Coachmen Freelander 2600 SO. Some rigs earn their reputation by accident. The 2005 Coachmen Freelander 2600 SO was never designed to be collectible, but time and experience turned it into one of the smartest used buys on the road. It rides on the Ford E450 chassis with the 6.8-liter Triton V10 engine, a pairing so proven it became the default for dependable Class C motorhomes across America. The powertrain alone has recorded hundreds of thousands of trouble-free miles in delivery trucks, shuttle buses, and ambulances. When that kind of durability ends up under a family motorhome, reliability becomes its hidden feature. The Freelander's secret is balance. Under 12,000 pounds, easy to handle, yet roomy with a reliable slide-out. Priced around $400 to $4,500, high mileage deters others, but those miles are mostly smooth highway runs, not abuse or neglect. Inside, you'll find exactly what older travelers appreciate. No gimmicks, just clean functionality, overhead storage, durable fabrics, and a floor plan that actually breathes. Dealers overlook it because it's too honest to upsell. The Freelander 2600 SO is the quiet definition of value. Simple, serviceable, and still ready for one more long run down the highway. And that closes the list. 11 rigs the dealers hope you never notice, and 11 reasons smart buyers still have the upper hand. If this opened your eyes, don't just scroll. Hit that like button so more buyers see what dealers don't want public. Drop a comment if you've spotted a hidden gem on a backlot or auction. I read every single one. And if you want more insider breakdowns on used RV deals, hidden models, and market secrets, make sure to subscribe, because the next video digs even deeper into what the industry's still trying to hide.